Hi students. In previous session, in basic concepts, we have discussed about the definition class. Now, remaining part of the definition. Other frequently asked definitions are differential cost. Very popular question, frequently asked question. Short notes on differential cost. Change in cost due to change in level of activity is called differential cost. Change in cost, changes in cost due to change in level of activity. Change in cost represent what? Change in total cost. It may be variable cost or fixed cost, combination of both. Because of changes in quantity, how much the changes in cost happen? That cost is called differential cost. It may be, changes may be increase or decrease. Therefore, the differential cost can be clustered into two types. One is incremental cost, another one is decremental cost. Incremental or two types of differential costings are there. One is incremental cost, another one is incremental cost, another one is decremental cost. It represents an increase or decrease in total cost relating to output of producing or distributing few more or few less products. Few more or few less product. A change in the method of production or distribution. An addition or deletion of the product or territory. And a selection of an additional sales channel. I'll repeat once again. It represents, differential cost represent, an increase or decrease in total cost relating out of, first, producing or distributing few more or few less product, or a change in the method of production or distribution, or an addition or deletion of a product or a territory, or a selection of an additional sales channel. This is called differential cost. Next, short notes on opportunity cost. Opportunity cost represent, it's a value of sacrifice made or opportunity forgone in accepting the alternative course of action. Value of sacrifice made or opportunity forgone in accepting alternative course of action. That is, the next best alternative is called opportunity cost. The next best alternative is known as opportunity cost. Opportunity cost arises only if there is a opportunity, options or alternative. If there is no alternative, there is no opportunity cost. Opportunity cost arises only in case of alternative should be there. It will not form part of books of accounts. Opportunity cost will not form part of books of accounts. It is for the purpose of managerial decision making. Opportunity cost is purely for the purpose of what? Managerial decision making. Costs which are useful for the purpose of decision making are known as relevant cost. Hence, opportunity cost also form part of relevant cost. Example for the opportunity cost. Suppose I want to do the business. For that I need a fund. I am withdrawing my fixed deposit and the sum, that fund I am investing in my business. Then how much I am going to lose out of the interest component in fixed deposit? That is the opportunity cost for me. Interest forgone in fixed deposit is an opportunity cost. That's why it's called next best alternative is called opportunity cost. Based on opportunity cost also, many problems are there. Practical problems also there. You know, product A, B, C, 3 product or 4 product they'll give. Selling price will be there. Sales quantity will be there. Variable cost will be there. You know, sales minus variable cost is equal to contribution into quantity. Sales quantity is equal to total contribution. For example, A's total contribution 1000. B's total contribution 2000. C's total contribution 3000. If any one of the product only are going to select what is the opportunity cost they lost. In that circumstance, if I'm going to select A, the next best alternative is 3000 is the opportunity cost. If I'm going to select B, the next best again is 3000 is opportunity cost. If I'm going to select C, the next best is 2000 is opportunity cost. Are you able to understand or not? The next best alternative, because A's contribution 1000, B's contribution 2000, C's total contribution 3000 means then when compare, if I'm going to select A, the next best is C only. If I'm going to select B, the next best is C only. If I'm going to select C, the next best is 2000 B only. That is called opportunity cost. The next best alternative is called opportunity cost. Clear? So that you can able to handle the practical problem also. Next, out of packet cost. That is also frequently asked question. Out of packet represent what? Cash flow, immediate cash outflow. It's a option, that is a portion of the total cost which involved cash outlay, cash outflow. Out of packet cost can be avoided or saved if particular proposal under condition is not, consideration is not undertaken. If I'm not going to do that particular activity, that cost can be avoided. Out of packet cost. If I'm not ready to spend, if I'm going to avoid, suppose I want to have coffee, further I have to pay 20 rupees. If I'm going to avoid drinking coffee, I can be the person to save the 20 rupees. That is called what? Out of packet cost. This is a short-term concept. It is used in decision relating to fixation of selling price in recession, make or buy, etc. Make or buy decision, etc. Costs which are useful for the purpose of decision makings are called relevant cost. Therefore, out of packet cost also form part of relevant cost. Then short notes on sunk cost, very frequently asked question. November 2000, May 2003, 2005, May 2015, November 2016. So very frequently asked question, short notes on sunk cost. It's a 3-mark question. Sunk cost represent what? Historical costs incurred in the past are known as sunk cost. Historical costs incurred in the past are known as sunk cost. They play no role in decision making in the current period. It's not useful for decision making purpose. You know, if it is not useful for decision making purpose, it form part of irrelevant cost. Good. Then therefore it's called irrelevant cost. For example, in case of decision relating to replacement of machine, the written down value of the existing machine is a sunk cost and therefore not considered. Then short notes on discretionary cost. Discretionary means what? My discretion represent what? If I want, I can do. Otherwise, I know what to do. That's called discretion. In my opinion, my option. Okay, my discretion. Now, such costs are not tied to a clear cause and effort relationship between input and output. There is no direct relationship between input and output. They usually arise from periodic decisions relating to maximum output to be incurred. Then, example for that, what are called a discretionary cost is advertisement cost is the best example. Advertisement to promote our Premier Academy, whether you have to spend money for advertisement or not, it's a purely discretion, our own discretion. And even if I'm going to spend, there is no relationship. I have spent 1 lakh, therefore 10 students came. I have spent 5 lakh, therefore 50 students came. There is no one-to-one relationship. Therefore, even if I'm going to spend, there is no one-to-one relationship between input and output. Therefore, it's called a discretionary cost. And it's purely my own opinion. Okay, therefore, it's purely based on discretion of the company. That's why it's called a discretion cost. Public relation expenses, executive training, these are all example for discretionary cost. Then pre-production cost. What is called pre-production cost? Pre-production representation bar before production is called pre-production. The part of development cost incurred in making trial run production run prior to formal production is called pre-production cost. Thus, this term is sometimes used to cover all the activities prior to production, including research and development. But in such a case, the usage should be made clear in the context. So before we are going to do production, what are all the costs you are going to incur? That cost is called the one pre-production cost. All activity prior to production, before production. Then short notes on conversion cost. Conversion cost based on the practical problems also there in material costing. The most important definition is conversion cost. Conversion represent what? I am going to convert. Converting input into output is called the conversion cost. Conversion of input into output is called the conversion cost. To convert the input into output, what are all the costs you are going to incur? Those costs are called the conversion cost of present one. We have to incur material, that is what we have to incur, labor, we have to incur overhead or direct expenses, direct material and other expense, overhead. Listen here, converting raw material into finished goods is called the conversion cost. Therefore, converting raw material represents already raw material is there. To convert the raw material into finished goods, it represents what? Other than material cost are called conversion cost. That is most important. Therefore, conversion cost does not include material cost. Understood? That is the most important one. Therefore, the sum of direct wages, start with the direct wages, not material, sum of direct wages, direct expenses, and the overhead cost of converting raw material into finished goods or converting a material from one stage to another stage of production is called the conversion cost. So formula for the conversion cost is direct wages plus direct expenses plus production overhead. What plus what is equal to conversion cost? Direct wages plus direct expenses plus production overhead are known as conversion cost. In some circumstances, this phase are used to include any excess material cost or loss of material incurred at the particular stage of production. So formula for the conversion cost, you should be very careful. Conversion cost of present, direct wages plus direct expenses plus production overhead. In other words, factory cost minus raw material cost is called the conversion cost. So conversion cost, practical problems also are based on that. And practical problem, you will have the hit in material costing as well as process costing. Based on conversion costing, that problem will be there. Including standard costing also, few problems are there. Now, we'll go to next one. Semi-variable cost. Already we discussed, it's a partly fixed and a partly variable. You know, based on behavior, cost can be classified into fixed cost, variable cost, and semi-variable cost. Whenever semi-variable cost comes into picture, it's a combination of fixed and variable. We have to segregate how much the variable cost and how much the fixed cost. For the purpose of segregation, what all the methods are there for segregation? Methods of segregation of semi-variable cost. There are 5 methods are there, the frequently asked 3-mark question. Methods of segregation of semi-variable cost. What are all the methods? Graphical method, analytical method, high point, low point method, least square method, and comparison method. I'll repeat once again. Graphical method, analytical method, high point, low point method, least square method, and comparison method. These are all the various methods of segregation of semi-variable cost. Then advantages of classification of cost into fixed and variable, nothing but segregation. What are the first advantage? 3 main advantages are there with respect to segregation. First one, controlling expenses. Second one, preparation of budget estimates. Third one, decision making. So controlling the expenses, preparation for the budget, and for the purpose of decision making. These are all the 3 advantages with respect to segregation of semi-variable cost. Next important question, capitalized cost. What do you mean by capitalized cost? These are the costs which are initially recorded as a cost and subsequently treated as an expenses, are known as capitalized cost. Initially recorded as an asset, not cost. Initially recorded as an asset, subsequently treated as an expenses. Nothing but like similar to capital expenses, writing off expenses, and what all the capital expenses first we are going to incur. Thereafter, periodic manner we are going to slice off the expenses, are known as what? Amortization, called one capitalized expenses. So capitalized expenses, 2 more question. These are all the costs which are initially recorded as an asset and subsequently treated as an expenses, are known as capitalized cost. Next, short notes on engineered cost. What is called engineered cost? These are costs that reflect specifically from a clear cost and effort relationship between input output. So clear input output relationship is there, mean that is called one engineered cost. Okay, engineered cost. Somewhere we come across there is no clear input output relationship, then it is called what? Discretionary cost. Clear input output relationship is there, means it's an engineered cost. Then the relationship is usually personally observed. It can be the portion to observe. Example of inputs are direct material cost, direct labor cost. Examples are outputs are cars, computers, etc. How much the input component we are given, what about the output? We can have the relation, we can be the portion to verify. Those costs are called one engineered cost. Okay, then we'll discuss some difference between questions. Now we have discussed short notes question, past exam question. Everything we are discussing, only the past exam questions only. Those questions, whatever we are discussing, is more than sufficient for your preparation. Beyond that, you don't need to put even the extra 1 inch for theory purpose. Okay, now it is my duty to make you to clear the examination. You will get highest mark only in my paper. Okay, now difference between product cost and the period cost. Very popular question. Product versus period cost. And the product cost and the period cost, that will help you for the purpose of understanding the practical question, including final level. Okay. So product cost means what? Period cost means what? Costs which are associated with the purchase and sale of goods are called product cost. Costs which are associated with purchase and sales, right from acquisition and till it is going to what? Sale. So what are all the costs are known as product cost. Then in the production scenario, such costs are associated with the acquisition and conversion of material and all other manufacturing input into finished goods till for selling the product. Right from procurement of the raw material till it's going to become a fully finished good, sell the product, including selling expenses, everything will form part of product cost. Then, hence, under the marginal costing, variable manufacturing costs are called product cost, because in marginal costing, fixed costs are irrelevant for decision making. Whereas in absorption costing, both variable and fixed costs are called product cost. That line will help you at the time of marginal costing topic, difference between marginal and absorption costing. I'll repeat once again. Under marginal costing, variable costs are called product cost, whereas in absorption costing, both variable and fixed costs are called product cost. Then, for the purpose of inventory valuation, as per accounting standard 2, the product cost definition going to help. Purpose of computing product cost: first, preparation of financial statement, product pricing, and contracting with the government agency. Now, so product cost, understood what is called a product cost? Costs which are associated with purchase and sale of goods are called product cost. In case of manufacturing, right from procurement of raw material till is going to sell the product, what all the costs incurred for the purpose of the product is called product cost. It form part of inventory valuation. In case of, as per AS2, product cost only form part of inventory valuation. Then in marginal costing, product cost represent variable cost alone, whereas in absorption costing, product cost represent both variable and fixed cost. Three purposes are there with respect to product cost. One is preparation of financial statement, then pricing the product, then contracting with the government agency. Okay, contracting with the government agency. Going to period cost. Period cost represent what? Costs which are not assigned to the product, but are charged as expenses against the revenue. Charged as expenses against revenue of the product is expenses against revenue or revenue for the period are known as product cost. I'll repeat once again. Costs which are not assigned to the product but are charged as expenses against the revenue of the period. In such way, in which they are incurred called period cost. So one particular period that cost has been incurred, we are not in the position to charge it in the product, are known as period cost. All non-manufacturing costs comes under the period cost. All non-manufacturing cost comes under period cost. Example, administration expenses, selling and distribution expenses are known as one period cost. It not form part of product cost. So product versus period cost. Comfortable? Next important question, difference between implicit cost and explicit cost. What is called implicit and what is called explicit cost? Implicit cost. These costs are also known as economic cost. Implicit cost also known as economic cost. In what basis they are classifying implicit or explicit? Based on cash outflow, costs are classified into two types. Based on cash outflow, costs are classified into two types. One is implicit cost, another one is explicit cost. Now, implicit costs are also known as economic cost. Then, these refers to costs that do not involve any immediate cash payment. It won't involve any immediate cash payment. They are not recorded in the books of accounts, are known as implicit costs. So not recorded in the books of account, there is no immediate cash outflow. Okay, therefore it's called what? Economic cost. Explicit means what? Going out. Then these are all the costs are also known as out of pocket costs. Out of pocket costs also called what? Explicit cost. This refers to cost involved immediate payment of cost, immediate payment of cash. Then example, salary, wages, postage and telegram, printing and stationery, interest on loan, etc. are known as explicit cost. Clear? So implicit versus explicit. Implicit also known as economic cost. Explicit also known as out of pocket cost. Implicit not involved any cash outflow, whereas explicit immediate cash outflow will be there. Then will not record in the books of account. Explicit we can record in the books of accounts. Example for explicit, salary, wages, everything will bottom down. We are paying cash. That is called explicit cost only. Good. Next, difference between controllable cost and uncontrollable cost. Hope you are thoroughly taking notes also. Okay, that will help you like anything. Controllable cost and uncontrollable cost. Costs which can be influenced by the action of the specific member of the organization are known as controllable cost. What is called controllable cost? Costs which can be influenced by the action of a specific or specified member of an organization are known as controllable cost. Controllable cost incurred in a particular responsibility center. Particular responsibility center can be influenced by the action of the executive heading the responsibility center, who is a head of the center. Example, direct cost comprising direct labor, direct material, direct expenses, and some of the overheads are generally controlled by the shop level management. Controllable costs are costs which can be influenced and controlled by the managerial action. Now, ultimately, what is called a controllable cost? Costs which can be controlled by the management of the company. Whether I am having influence as a management, whether I am having influence over the product, the cost are known as controllable cost. If I can be able to reduce, if I can be able to avoid, then it is called one controllable cost. Then, in general, all the costs are controllable costs subject to three factors. What are all the factors to determine the controllability of the cost? One is location, second one time, third one is product or output. These are all the factors which influencing the controllability of the cost. I'll repeat once again, three factors which influencing the controllability of the cost. What are all the three factors which influence the controllability of the cost? Location, time, and output. These are the three factors which influencing the controllability of the cost. Next, uncontrollable cost represent what? Costs which cannot be influenced by the action of the specified member of the organization are known as uncontrollable costs. Beyond the controllability, it is not in my control, then it is called uncontrollable cost. Example, expenditure incurred by the tool room is controlled by the tool room manager, but the share of tool room expenses which is apportioned to the machine shop cannot be controlled by the machine shop manager. Understood? So expenses, what are all the expenses? For example, this is what my department. Expenses incurred in the department may be within my control. I can have the influence. But you know, the department's square feet based on the rent company going to apportion. That I can't apportion to have the control. Those things are called uncontrollable cost. The rent may be the uncontrollable cost, whereas expenses incurred within the department may be the controllable cost. Okay, it is only in relation to a particular individual that cost may be classified as a controllable or not. It may go, that is nothing but it may going to vary one department to another department or one person to another person. Controllability factor. Note, yeah, supervision may be unable to control the amount of managerial remuneration allotted to his department, but for the top management, which would be controlled that particular cost. Depreciation would be non-controllable cost in short term, and it may be controllable for long term. So, depending upon the circumstance only, whether it is controllable or uncontrollable, we can be the person to identify. Shall I go to the next one? So, controllable cost and uncontrollable cost, important one. Next one. Relevant cost and irrelevant cost. Such a simple question only, but it's a very frequently asked question. In final level, relevant costing, separate topic is there. Okay, separate chapter is there for relevant costing. Relevant and irrelevant cost. What is called relevant cost? Based on decision making, cost can be classified into two types. One is relevant, another one is irrelevant cost. What is called relevant cost? Costs which are useful for the purpose of decision making. Costs which are useful for the purpose of decision making are known as relevant costs. Example for the relevant cost: opportunity cost, out of pocket cost, explicit cost, incremental cost, decremental cost, replacement cost. These are all costs will come under one relevant cost. Irrelevant costs represent what? Costs which are not useful for the purpose of decision making. What are all the costs which are not involved for decision making purpose are known as irrelevant costs. Example: sunk cost, committed cost, absorbed fixed overhead, etc. Clear? So, difference between relevant and irrelevant cost. Hope it is manageable. Now, shall we discuss some practical questions based on theory? Theory based practical questions. Okay, concept based theory questions. Yes. With respect to concept based question, find out the types of cost from the following items. Again, all past exam question I have compiled together. Okay. First question: cost incurred due to producing or distributing few more or few less products. Costs which are incurred due to producing or distributing few more or few less product. Already we discussed the definition. What is that cost? First you can try, thereafter you can verify. Yeah, that cost is called differential cost. Good, differential cost. Second one, cost on interest on capital, which involve not actually, sorry, I will repeat once again. Interest on capital, the payment for which not actually made. Payment is not actually made, then it is called a what? If it is not actually made, then it's an imputed cost. What is it called? Imputed cost. Third question. Just I have combined all the past exam questions. Okay. Third one. Additional cost incurred due to selecting an additional sales channel. Additional cost incurred to select additional sales channel will come under differential cost. Good. The loss of interest on the bank deposit for using the fund as a capital comes under, yes, opportunity cost. That will come under the opportunity cost. Fifth one, savings in cost by way of change in method of production. Savings in cost by way of change in method of production will come under, again, differential cost. Payment of factory rent. Okay, payment of factory rent even after temporary closing down. That will comes under shutdown cost. Clear? Shutdown cost. Shutdown cost will form part of marginal costing topic. Okay? Shutdown cost. Cost, works cost excluding raw material cost. That you know. What is called works cost excluding raw material cost? What is called works cost? Factory cost is also known as works cost. Other than raw material cost is called conversion cost. Works cost excluding raw material cost is called conversion cost. Good. Then WDV of machine which are going to replace comes under sunk cost. Definition of the sunk cost will become a cost, sunk cost. Then expenses like advertising, public relation, executive training, etc. These are all the costs will comes under the discretionary cost. Okay, if you want, you can do. Otherwise, no need to do. That is called what? Discretionary cost. Next, supervisor salary, admin salary. That all comes under indirect cost. What is it called? Indirect cost. Cost incurred in making trial run production comes under predetermined cost. Predetermined trial run. Therefore, before production, it comes under the predetermined cost. Charges of fast track call taxi for the first 5 kilometers rupees 100 and for 10 rupees. That comes under the partly fixed, partly variable. Therefore, it comes under semi-variable cost. Okay. Then, irrespective of the distance you covered, they are going to charge 100 rupees. Thereafter, each and every kilometer 10 rupees. Therefore, partly fixed and partly variable. Therefore, semi-variable cost. Then, 13th one, am I right? Direct wages, direct expenses plus production overheads are called conversion cost. What are they called? Conversion cost. Brokerage of rupees 20,000 for to pay for getting rented premises for the factory. Brokerage of rupees 20,000 agreed to pay. Okay, sorry, agreed to pay for getting rented premises. Once if it is agreed, then it is called one committed cost. What cost? Committed cost. Then 15th one, costs which are initially recorded as an asset, subsequently treated as an expenses. Initially recorded as an asset, subsequently if you are going to treat it as an expenses, will comes under the capitalized cost. Capitalized cost. Then administration expenses, selling and distribution expenses, which are charged as expenses against revenue. Charged as expenses against revenue will comes under the period cost. Okay, it won't form part of product cost, therefore it comes under the period cost. Due to recession, management has reduced the percentage of bonus will comes under the I am having influence to control. Therefore, it's called the word controllable cost. Management has the influence to control. 18th one. Salary, wages, postage and telegram, printing and stationery, interest on loan, etc., which involve immediate payment of cash will comes under the explicit cost. Immediate payment. Therefore, it's called the one explicit cost. Then input, 19th one. Input output relationship is usually personally absorbed. Usually personally absorbed. Then it is called engineered cost. Okay, comes under what? Engineered cost. Car and tools comes under what? Engineered cost. Then cost associated with acquisition and conversion of material into finished goods comes under product cost, not conversion cost, product cost. Acquisition, the word acquisition is there. Acquisition means what? Purchase of raw material. Raw material cost also included. Therefore, it comes under the what? Product cost. If the acquisition is not there, means converting raw material into finished goods, then it's called conversion cost. Then the last one, 21. Cost arise from a period decision in which cannot be charged as a short run. Okay. Cost arising for a period decision which cannot be, prior decision. I will repeat. Cost arising from a prior decision which cannot be charged in a short run. it comes under the committed cost. That's also will comes under committed cost. Clear? Now, shall I go to the next one? Similarly, next concept-based question. Yeah. Implicit cost is also known as dash. Okay, problem number 3. Implicit cost is also known as economic cost. Explicit cost is also known as what? Out of packet cost. Costs which are never useful for decision making purpose. Irrelevant cost. Good. Factors which affect the influence the controllability of the cost. 3 factors I said. What are they? Location, time, and output. Location, time, and output. Historical cost incurred in the past. Sunk cost. Definition of the sunk cost. The next best alternative cost. Opportunity cost. And activity center of a business organization entrusted with special tasks are known as responsibility center. That is called one responsibility center. Activity center of a business organization entrusted with special tasks are known as responsibility center. This is the definition of the responsibility center itself. Cost of unsuccessful research will comes under production overhead. Then threefold assumption in cost reductions are. What are the threefold assumption? Permanent reduction. It's a permanent in nature. Reduction in cost per unit without tampering the quality of the product. Okay. Last one. All the expenses are cost, but all the costs are not expenses. Is it correct or not? No. Ulta definition. Okay. The right answer is all the costs are expenses, but all the expenses may not be the cost, because expenses which are inward for the purpose of producing the product only will come under the cost. If it is not incurred for the purpose of producing the product, then it is called mere expenses only. Okay. Next. Shall I go to the next one? Yeah. The next one. Cost center. So now we understood how they are asking concept-based theory questions. That's the reason either direct theory question will be there or concept-based theory question will be there in past exams. Okay, examination. Okay. Now, next we are going to discuss about cost center. This question also very frequently asked a question. November 2000, May 2015, 16, May 17, November 2016, May 17. Okay. Cost center represent what? Cost center, it consists of location, person, item of equipment, combination of all for the purpose of ascertainment of cost and for the purpose of controlling the cost. So what is called cost center? Location, person, item of equipment, combination of all for the purpose of ascertainment of cost and for the purpose of controlling the cost are known as cost center. Now, cost center can be broadly clustered into 3 types. What are the 3 different types of cost centers are there? For manufacturing concern, non-manufacturing industry, and based on input-output relationship. So cost center broadly clustered into 3 types: manufacturing, non-manufacturing, and what? Input-output relationship. In case of manufacturing industry, cost center can be clustered into 2 types. One is production cost center, another one is service cost center, like production department and service department. In case of non-manufacturing concern, okay, cost center can be clustered into 2 types: personal cost center and impersonal cost center. Personal and impersonal. In case of input-output relationship, the cost center can be classified into standard cost center. Another one is discretionary cost center. Standard and discretionary cost center. Therefore, production cost center is there, service cost center is there, personal cost center, impersonal cost center, standard cost center, discretionary cost center. Okay, the 6 cost center broadly clustered into 3 bases. First two is for manufacturing concern, second two for non-manufacturing other concern, and last one is based on input-output relationship. Now, personal cost center consists of persons or group of person. Impersonal cost center consists of location and item. Therefore, you have discussed location, person, and item of equipment. Location will come under impersonal cost center. Person will come under personal cost center. Item of equipment will come under impersonal cost center. In the manufacturing concern, there are two main types of cost center. That and all, production and service cost center. Production cost center represent what? The cost center which raw material are converted into finished product. Hence, both direct material and direct expenses are incurred. Example, machine shop, welding shop, assembly shop. This and all comes under one production cost center. It's a form part of production activity. Service cost center represent what? It serves as an ancillary unit to the production cost center. Example, powerhouse, gas production shop, material service center, plant maintenance center, etc. This will come under one service. Powerhouse help you to produce a product. Therefore, service department, like service cost center, service department, it's a service cost center. Gas production shop. If I'm going to produce as a gas as a product, it's a production, okay, manufacturing activity. Therefore, production cost center. And if it is for the purpose of help you to produce a product, then it is called what? Service cost center. Next, based on input-output relationship, it can be classified into two types. One is standard cost center, another one is discretionary cost center. Standard cost center represent what? One-to-one input-output relationship is possible, mean that is called standard cost center. One-to-one input-output relationship is possible, mean that is called standard cost center. And discretionary cost center represent what? One-to-one input-output relationship is not possible. That is called discretionary cost center. Okay, next. Cost center. We'll go for practical problem again. Concept-based theory questions. I think. Identify the types of cost center. Fourth one. Okay. Now, first one. Cost center where input and outputs are measurable. What type of cost center? See here, this type of question, we can be the person to answer in exam only if you are strong in the theory part. First, what are all the types of cost centers are there? Broadly 3 types. Under which, what all the types are there? All the cost centers name is supposed to have, then only can address this type of question. But once if you learn every answer, okay, one line answer, you'll get 1 mark easily. Okay, frequently asked 5 mark question. So since students are not concentrating this type of concept-based theory question, they are losing the mark. And if you are going to solve this type of concept-based theory question, they are going to become strong in theory part also. Conceptually, you can become strong. Okay, cost center where inputs and outputs are measures, where outputs are measurable. That is called what? Standard cost center. Output cannot be measurable in financial terms. That is called discretionary cost center. Third one, input required for the output can be specified. Then it's called standard cost center. Actual cost of input is compared with the standard cost. Actual cost of input is compared with the standard cost. That will come under the standard cost center. Fifth one, input output ratio cannot be defined. That is called discretionary cost center. Sixth one, variance in cost center can be measured. Then standard cost center. Then cost of input is compared with the actual budget. Cost of input is compared with the allocated budget. That is called discretionary cost center. Then R&D cost, discretionary cost center. Deviation in cost can be classified into controllable and uncontrollable cost. Then standard cost center. That comes under the standard cost center. Input output ratio is possible, standard cost center. Advertisement department, discretionary cost center, because input output relationship not possible. Okay, now now we will comfortable with respect to cost centers. Next, cost unit, the next important question, cost unit. What is called cost unit? Cost unit represent, it's a unit of product or service or time or combination of all for the purpose of ascertainment of cost and for the purpose of controlling the cost, for the purpose of expression of cost and for the purpose of controlling the cost. Product or service or time or combination of all for the purpose of expression of cost and for the purpose of controlling the cost. Cost units are usually the unit of physical measures like numbers, weight, area, volume, length, time, and value. I'll repeat once again. Cost unit represent how we are going to measure, that is called cost unit. Okay, simple terminology, cost unit. We are going to shop. If I'm going to purchase oil, we have to measure in how many liters I have to ask. If I'm going to purchase vegetable, how many kgs I am going to purchase, how many kgs of vegetable. So sometime it may be liters, sometime it may be in kgs. We're going to vary, the measurable term, liters or kgs or units are known as what here? Cost unit. Okay? So cost unit represent what? It's a unit of product or service or time or combination of all for the purpose of expression of cost and for the purpose of controlling the cost are known as cost unit. Then cost units are usually the unit of physical measures is called cost unit. That's what I told, liters or units. Now, based on that also practical question, concept-based theory questions are there. Okay. Now, concept-based theory question. Problem number 5. Automobiles, what are the cost units? Automobile, what are the cost unit of the automobile? Numbers is the cost unit. With respect to automobile, numbers is the cost unit. Next, industry, cement industry, what are the cost unit of the cement industry? Cement, tons of bags, how many tons or how many bags is the cost unit. Chemicals, liters, gallon is a cost unit. Power, kilowatt hours is a cost unit. It's a very frequently asked question. Steel, tons is a cost unit. Transport, what are the cost unit? Passenger kilometer or ton kilometer. In case of passenger vehicle, passenger kilometer. In case of goods carriage and all, ton kilometer is a cost unit. Nursing home, like hospital nursing home comes under what? Cost unit of the thing? Bed per day or patient per day. Bed per day or patient per day. Bridge construction, contract, each contract is a cost unit. Interior decoration, each job is a cost unit. Bicycle, each unit is a cost unit. Then advertising means every job, each job is a cost unit. Then sugar, ton or quintal is a cost unit. Hotel providing lodging facility, then room per day, room day is a cost unit. Airlines, passenger mile or ton mile is a cost unit. So these are all the cost unit computation. Next, find out the cost unit of the following activity. Problem number 6. Okay, following activity. Previously, the product or industries, for that, what are the cost unit? Now we are discussing about for the activity, what are the cost units. Now, first one, credit control activity. Accounts maintained, cost unit is called how many accounts you have maintained. That's the cost unit. Selling activity, customer calls, values, what about the value of the sale or order undertaken, that's the cost unit. Value of the sale or customers call or orders taken, that and all cost unit. Material storage and handling, Units, how many units has been requisitioned, okay, received material movement, this and all called cost unit. Then personal administrations and all, then how much personal received is a cost unit. So now we understood what is called cost center and cost unit. Then we are going to discuss about difference between cost center and the cost unit. Okay, the next one is what? Difference between cost center and the cost unit. It's a this is also very famous question. Cost center versus cost unit. Cost center represent location, person, item of equipment, combination of all for the purpose of ascertainment of cost and for the purpose of controlling the cost are known as cost center. Whereas cost unit, it's a unit of product or service or time or combination of all for the purpose of expression of cost and for the purpose of controlling the cost are known as cost unit. Then cost center, it may be personal cost center or impersonal cost center in case of non-manufacturing concern. In case of manufacturing concern, product cost center, service production cost center, service cost center. In based on input-output relationship, standard cost center or discretionary cost center. These are all the various types of cost center. Cost units are usually unit of physical measures like weightage, numbers, weight, numbers, area, okay, length, time, value, this and all called comes under the cost unit. Example for cost center, each and every production unit in the company is called cost center. In case of cost unit example, output of the production units are called cost unit, output of the production unit. In cost center, in case of process costing, each and every process is called cost center, output of the end process is called cost unit. But in case of contract costing, what is called the cost center? In case of contract costing, every contract is set to cost center and the same contract is the cost unit. Cost center and the cost unit of the contract costing both are same. Okay, cost center and the cost unit of the contract costing same only. Okay, contract is itself cost center and the contract is itself cost unit. So cost center and the cost unit. Where I am going to incur a cost is called the cost center. For simple way to understand. How I am going to recover the cost is called the cost unit. So where and all I am going to incur the cost, I am going to incur the cost in location, I am going to incur the cost in person, I am going to incur the cost in item of equipment. Combination of all is called the cost center. Clear? So where and all I am going to incur the cost. Suppose I am incurring the cost in the factory. To do the business, I need a factory. Location is the cost center. Factory alone sufficient. I have to appoint the person, manager. Person is the cost center. And the tools also we need, item of equipment is the cost center. So location, person and item of equipment. Clear? So we have invested. Then I have to recover the money. No? How to recover the money? That is called the cost unit. Invested cost, I have to recover. How I am going to recover the cost is called the cost unit. I am going to recover the cost by way of what? I have invested the cost in the factory. Factory is the cost center. In that factory, I have produced water bottle. By way of selling the water bottle, I am going to get the money. Therefore, water bottle, the output is the cost unit for me. I have incurred the cost in Hariharan and Associates. The location is the cost center. My firm is the cost center. By way of rendering services to the client, I am going to recover the money. Therefore, the service is the cost unit for me. I invested the cost in browsing center. The center is the cost center. Location is the cost center. How many hours you spend? Accordingly, I am going to charge. The time is the cost unit. How I am going to recover the cost is called the cost unit. It may be product or service or time or combination of all for the purpose of expression of cost and for the purpose of controlling the cost are known as cost unit. So, comfortable with respect to cost center and the cost unit. Okay. With this, in this section, I am going to conclude. And one more part is there in the basic concept itself. Hope you enjoyed the session. Kindly parallelly take a note also. Kindly do the proper revision. That will help you like anything. Enjoyed the session? Good. Part 3 of the basic concept we'll discuss soon. Okay.